Happy Friday. How are you? It's Cody Jans and World Hockey Report Live, coming to you on the 12 Ounce Sports Radio Network, 12 Ounce TV. If you are watching online, how's it going? Beautiful Friday out there for you. What a weekend, especially if you're up here in beautiful Alberta. It's going to be a good one. And there was a lot of hockey last night. Tons to talk about. You got Sheldon Keefe picking up his first win. The Flames getting shut out once again. Third time the last 4 games. They're atrocious. The Oilers find a way to go and spoil a start to their road trip. Not a good start for them. Hey, we are going to get to all of that. It's World Hockey Report Live, coming to you on the 12 Ounce Sports Radio Network, show brought to you by Seat Giant. Yeah, SeatGiant.ca.com. Wherever you're looking to get sporting tickets, event tickets, whatever you are looking for, Seat Giant should be your go-to place. Use the promo code 12OZSports, all caps, no spaces, and you are going to save money on your next ticket buying purchase. That's 12OZSports through Seat Giant. All right, let's get to it. And right away, you got to talk about it. Dubas is gone, or Babcock's gone. Wow, good start. Sheldon Keefe comes in, picks up his first win. You knew the Leafs were going to be buzzing in Arizona. They always are. You got Austin Matthews playing in his hometown. It's just made to be. So yes, I said bet the farm on him. Cord doesn't like it. I don't care. I made money off of it. Don't actually care what you think on Twitter. You're not right. I'm right. Can we talk about those Calgary Flames, though? That's a bad beat against a great St. Louis Blues team. But the Flames have now allowed the first goal in the game 8 straight times. 8 straight games. You're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. How do you do that? The Oilers found out those struggles are tough to get over. It is not fun playing come from behind hockey. Unless you're the Florida Panthers, but it's embarrassing almost for the NHL that a team can come back down 4-0 twice in like a week. Wild. But the Flames have been atrocious. I don't even know what to say about it. I've talked enough about their goaltending before. Riddick's a good goaltender. He's not going to win you a Stanley Cup. He's not going to put you on a Stanley Cup playoff run. He's not going to give you 50 or 60 games a season at a valuable pace. They're both good backups. Calgary's got 2 good backup goaltenders. They need a starting guy. Corey Schneider, anyone? Once he gets bought out? If he gets bought out and the Calgary Flames aren't on that like a pig in mud, I just don't know what they're doing. I get it. Their offense has been pathetic. Johnny Gaudreau's soft. Monahan's not doing anything. Matthew Tkachuk is the only guy on the team who looks like he wants to be there. Aside from that, they got to do something. They got to stick some TNT somewhere in there because Bill Peters is losing this room quicker than you can imagine. I don't care how good they did last year with that team. The Pacific is a weak division. Teams were not playing up to their potential, and the Flames were playing at their ceiling. And they showed that they were playing at their ceiling because they got pumped in playoffs. They got obliterated by the Colorado Avalanche. It wasn't even close. 5 games, sure, the Flames pick up a win there. It was not a good series, and the Calgary Flames, I mean, last year, it's sad enough. This team doesn't have the grit in playoffs. And it's not like Washington where you're like, oh my goodness, these guys have star players in the makings. You know, they're going to have to battle some adversity before they get there. No. We're way past that stage. I think guys know. Gaudreau, he ain't winning a Stanley Cup with how he plays. Unless he's going to be put on, I don't even know what team you could throw him on where his style of game would work. Because even if you think of Pasternak, Bergeron, those guys are a lot more engaged day in, day out in the game, the style they play, than Gaudreau and Monahan. You hate to be tough on them. They're obviously skilled hockey players, but they are struggling, and this is a bad look for Calgary. Let's talk about some other games. The Oilers. You might as well keep it on the negative side, right? Hey, Alberta, enjoy your Friday. The Oilers sucked, but let's be realistic. Tuesday night, big win over San Jose. What do you think they're doing in LA? I mean, you got some time off. I said it before, I made the excuse for Calgary with the rookie party. I'll make the exact same. I can guarantee you the Edmonton Oilers had a little bit of fun over these past couple of days. Maybe thought it was going to be a little bit easier than it was, playing one of the worst teams in the West. They got thumped 3 goals in the first period. 5-1. The 8th place team in the Pacific. Not good. I was talking with Adam yesterday, and I said, hey, anytime the Oilers play the Kings, Jonathan Quick's in net, easy win. Easy win for the Oilers. Boy, might have messed that one up. Just had Smith against the Kings. Oh, not a good look for him. 9 saves. Not going to cut it for you. Not too often. He only allowed 3. Koskinen allowed 2 on 16. Nonetheless, this great goaltending that the Oilers were getting, well, it's disappeared. That 3rd goal against Smith is horrible. Just seen it on the replays right now. Carter whacks at it with a broom, and it trickles in. Can't have that out of your netminder. Yeah, Koskinen has been good. Could have made a few more saves against Dallas there, I do think. We're not going to hand him the loss. But if the Oilers want to be a successful team, if they want to play their run-and-gun, careless defensive style that Dave Tippett hates, but they do still play it. You can't tell me otherwise. The amount of odd-ran rushes that team gives up, don't envy anyone standing between the pipes there. Koskinen's got to be your number 1 guy. He's played the number 1 role before, albeit in the KHL. I know Mike Smith has too. That's years ago. He played 50-50 with Riddick, with the Flames. He was all right. The end, yes, he had his struggles, came through clutch in the playoffs. That's what you got to hope for again if you're Dave Tippett. You got to keep this guy to a reasonable workload. And if he gets hot before playoffs, you put him in the damn net. It's that simple. But to try to ride Mike Smith, who's 38, 37, I'm not going to look it up. He ain't young anymore. You got to be smarter than that. Moving along, let's quickly talk about those Toronto Maple Leafs. I know all the Eastern media is going to cover them to death, so I'm not going to sit here and bore you. But there was no way that every single one of those players wasn't going to have their best game of the season against Arizona. Everyone in the lineup knows. New coach? Most of them haven't played for Keefe. He coached the Marlies, so if you didn't come up through that Marlies system, you don't know the guy. You don't know what he's going to do, what he expects from you, and you better go balls to the wall. Are you allowed to say that even? I apologize. I don't know if that's going to offend anyone. But you got to, get your ass in gear and go for it. And so, Matthews, he's going to bury in Phoenix anytime. Engvall, Barry. Barry's got his first now as a Leaf. That took long enough. But you put him up there with Morgan Rielly. I don't care. Sometimes to get those top-end players going, you have to put them with the best. You got to stack it up once in a while. I'm not against seeing Morgan Rielly and Tyson Barrie up there. Yes, they can carry. other D partners. But you should not be relying on that. If they're struggling, put them together. Let them snap the puck around the ice. Make teams look stupid. Give them some confidence. And hey, once they're buzzing, then you can go, all right, guys, bring that energy to a new D pairing. I think Keefe is going to be good for him. I think he's going to be able to connect with the young people, which Babcock couldn't do. And I think he's going to coach to win, which Babcock thought happened naturally because he had such good teams in Detroit, and it just wasn't going to work with Toronto. You got to play guys like Auston Matthews, Mitch Marner, Tavares, when they're healthy, more than 20 minutes a night. Now, I'm not going to say everyone has to play 25 minutes a night like McDavid and Draisaitl, but is to say play them 23 unreasonable? These are some of the best athletes in the world. And if they're not in shape to play 22, 23 minutes a night, I'm not saying every game either. I'm saying in games you gotta win. If you've got a comfortable lead on a team like, I'm not even going to rip on Florida because they've been coming back on teams. But if you're up 4-0 on Minnesota, yeah, those top guys, they don't need to be playing that much. They can play 17, 18 minutes a night. They can take the night off. I mean, as much as we hate the league, as the NBA, workload management does come into play, not just for goaltenders in hockey. You got to be able to use those guys wisely. The Leafs also got to figure out their backup goaltender situation, because if Freddie Anderson's going to be a 60 to 65 starter guy, he's had injury problems, and you hate to say it, you hate to see it. But there's a good chance that comes back to haunt him, and it's tough. It's tough. What do you do? But you have to be able to rely on another guy. I don't know who that is. I don't know if this Finnish guy who played in the Null is going to be your answer. But they got to find something. How about that overtime between Vegas and San Jose? If you haven't seen that highlight, it's wild. Aaron Dell, a couple of massive saves. Sharks go back the other way. Fleury robs, I don't even remember who that was, coming down that right wing. And then Dell again. Big arm save. Wild overtime. Sharks won 2-1 in overtime. That's a fun rivalry. That's what hockey should be. I enjoy watching those two teams play. Couture, that's who had the winner. That's awesome for the game down there. It's just going to grow. I know it's good in San Jose. I know they've got a good fan base. I know that Shark Tank is rocking. I know they've had some great teams. But to see it continually succeed is what's the best. That's the dream rivalry for places like Florida and Tampa Bay. They wish they could provide that exciting hockey night in, night out, have good teams that go on playoff runs, get a lot of attention, so they can fill the barn. They're not doing it. It's disappointing. But Florida, you kidding me? Another comeback for them? Let's go back. November 12th, they're playing Boston. They're down 4-0 against the Bruins. You're like, damn, this one is getting out of hand. Boston's good. Bobrovsky struggled. The Panthers stick a fork in them. They come back, win 5-4 in a shootout. Yesterday, the Ducks are up 4-0 on them. You're like, what the heck is going on there? How is Florida this bad? Like, Anaheim is such a subpar team. You've got Jones, Ritchie, Case, and Raquel, the goal scorers for Anaheim. Who, and who? Yeah, not good. But they flip a switch, and they got 5 straight goals. Ekblad with his second of the night overtime winner. They win 5-4. Just a ridiculous team effort. They're the second team in NHL history to overcome a deficit of 4+ goals to win a game multiple times in a season. That's just insane. Take a look at some other ones. Boston beats the Sabres 3-2. Boston's probably the best team in the East again this year. Right now, if I got to pick, the way St. Louis and Boston are playing, I would love to see a rematch. Philly beats Carolina 5-3. Columbus over Detroit 5-4. Vancouver doubles up Nashville 6-3. The Wild beat Colorado 3-2. I called those last two. Adam can confirm that one. Tampa beats Chicago 4-2. Puck line, thank you. Dallas beats Winnipeg 5-3. And the team we are going to get to, the New York Islanders. I got to think about what I can say about them. This is one weird hockey team. More on them in a minute. It's World Hockey Report Live, coming to you on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Coffee's on, the Oilers lose, and it's a happy Friday. It's Cody Jansen, World Hockey Report Live, coming to you on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. This segment brought to you by MyBookie.ag, BetMyBookie, and of course, if you're looking to play some money, maybe there's a couple of games coming up. We'll talk later. I got some good tips for you tonight. Couple of games in the NHL. You got to use the promo code 12OZ Sports, and they're going to match your deposit up to $1,000. The best online sports book, MyBookie.ag. How about those New York Islanders? Before the break, I was talking about them. They're a weird team. How is a team with their biggest superstar being Matt Barzal 15-0-1 in their last 16 games? They're on a 16 game point streak. Wow, good start. End of the week. This team hasn't lost in regulation since October 11th. That's well over a month ago. Not a math guy, but I'd say it's close to 40 some days? 40 plus days? And they haven't lost in regulation since then? The Isles are tied for the 27th longest point streak in NHL history. The 26 in front of them, 15 went to the Stanley Cup final. 15 of them went to the Stanley Cup final. Want to know what's crazier? 8 of them won the cup. I don't know. People are saying this is a legit contender team. The numbers definitely go against me when I say this. Gonna get some hate. I know those Isles fans, all 30 of you, pretty crazy on Twitter. But are the Islanders peaking too early? What was Buffalo's streak last year? I actually don't even remember what their streak was. But they went on a run. Pretty early, about this time of year. Everyone said they're a wagon. Everyone said, oh, they're finally turning it around. Carter Hutton's going to be the guy. Eichel's going to lead this team to the playoffs. Sam Reinhart's where we want him to be. And that bus hit the ditch very quick. They were not what anyone thought they were. And the Islanders, yeah, sure, I mean, they made it to the second round of playoffs last year. But do I honestly think that the New York Islanders are going to be a Stanley Cup contender? No, that's whack. That's too far right now. I get it. They're beating Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a banged up team. Let's not get too heavy on that. Pittsburgh's not bad. They are not great. Not great at all. And with Matt Murray in net, well, kind of says differently. Hey, I'll give Barry Trotz credit. He has been just phenomenal with that team. He's got them playing systematically well. What scares me now is they're getting in firefights with teams. You don't win too many 5-4, 4-3 games in playoffs. You really don't. I just don't see this being a sustainable team. And I don't know. Hey, maybe prove me wrong. But they could use some more experience. They really could. This is a team with potential, but it could take another tough year, maybe another couple. Get them into that new barn. Then this is a group, a core that you should be scared of because they've got the cap room to add a few fancy additions, fancy new pieces to this roster. And you better be scared of those New York Islanders, just not this year. Speaking of guys, or teams, having a great year, can we just give Cale Makar the Calder already? 25 points in 22 games as a defenseman in his rookie season? Who else does that? I'm sure he's not up for Norris yet, thanks to John Carlson having an incredible season as well. Cale Makar's a +9 as well. This kid is incredible. Former Brooks Bandit, Calgary Midget AAA Flame. Just what a player. That's all you can say about Cale Makar. What a player. What a 4th overall pick. And how stupid do the New Jersey Devils, Philadelphia Flyers, and Dallas Stars feel right now? Nico Hischier's been a fine player. He ain't no Cale Makar. Nolan Patrick's been alright. He ain't no Cale Makar. Miro Heiskanen's been good. I mean, a rookie D-man in his 2nd season. He's got 50 points in 105 games played. He's good. But you are joking if you're not going to take Cale Makar over any one of those players. What a draft. And I get it. Cale Makar, he screwed himself by playing in the AJHL. It's tough. It's, you're playing some pretty soft. Saved myself there, you catch that one? Some pretty weak hockey teams. There is some bad hockey players in that league. Not bad, like can't skate bad, but like guys who are not going to be playing at the next level and are most likely going down to Junior B faster than anywhere else. It's not even the BCHL. It's not even the USHL. I mean, if you want to put it in the power rankings, it's on par with the NAL, maybe in the States. So what's that make it, like the 5th or probably 6th, 7th best junior league in North America? I don't even know if it really stacks up to some of those other leagues in Europe, like the Swedish Super Elite, that Russian MHL. So yeah, that's going to hurt his draft stock. Obviously, everyone knew he's a heck of a player. He's going to be a stud. But even for Colorado to go out 4th, some people are like, is that worth it? Well, then he goes to UMass Amherst. Everyone's like, oh, what a school. Like, why would he go there? Turns that program around, captains the team. He had like 50 points in his last year. Not a big deal. Comes in, plays playoffs, kid's sick. Cale Makar is by far and away the best player in that 2017 draft. I don't care. Say what you want about Elias Peterson. Doesn't even hold a candle to Cale Makar right now. Peterson's point per game. Makar's over it. I know. Makar's played 70 less games. But Makar is a game changer that anyone wants on their team. Would love to know. Where do you rank Cale Makar? Do you put him up there with the Dahleans? I mean, I think he's got to be in that conversation with a guy like Rasmus Dahlin. If not better. Give it some time. Let Dahlin develop. He's got 50-some points in 100 games, played a couple of seasons. I'm still taking Cale Makar over him. This guy, the way he skates with the puck, the way he passes the puck, the way he moves his feet, creates opportunities, can run a power play, can kill off penalties, can break the puck out of his own zone. He is one of the most versatile players in the NHL. In his rookie season, he's got the Calder in the bag. And that Avs defense, I'm sorry. Getting rid of Tyson Barrie, no problem. No problem at all. We'll take a break. Come back. Sock. Babcock's gone. Everyone knows that. It's over. Sheldon Keefe's in. Sheldon Keefe is going to be a solid coach. But what happens next? What happens if these Leafs crumble again, fall out in the first round, maybe they don't make playoffs? It's a big maybe. But you gotta think that there's another guy in the hot seat. We'll talk about him next. It's World Hockey Report live on the 12 Ounce Sports Radio Network. What's up? Cody Jansen, World Hockey Report Live, coming on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Hey, everyone knows the Leafs gassed Mike Babcock. But what happens next? Who takes responsibility? Who's to blame if things don't turn around there? I've already said it. I think Sheldon Keefe is going to be a good coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I really do. He's young. He's working with a youth-injected team. And he's coming off of a pretty successful Marlies squad. Yes, they've got a bigger budget than any AHL team. Yes, they got all these top prospects. You know, the Leafs have a very good young talent pool. So I think Keefe, with time, is going to be able to mold these players into the best of their ability. But is this a team made to win? Is a team where you've got $44 million tied up in your top 4 forwards made to win in the NHL? Tell you for free, St. Louis doesn't. Boston doesn't. Pittsburgh doesn't. The Oilers, well, they're a different case. But if you go through the standings team by team, I would say that there is no team in the NHL who's handed out, I'm not going to say worse contracts than the Leafs, but more unnecessary large dollar figures than the Leafs. They know they can. They know they got to keep these guys happy to stick around in Toronto. Not an easy place to play with that market. It's going to be tough for them ever to win a cup there because of that fact that the pressure is double any other market in the league. So who takes the blame for that? Is it Dubas? Because if you're going to tell me that there's no one in the NHL going to take a hometown discount to go play for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think you are full of it. I think the way that he handed out contracts was unnecessary, outrageous, and just simply obscure for what they actually needed to do. No guys like Drew Doughty, John Tavares are not going to take hometown discounts. That's just not the type of people they are. But there's a lot of quality NHLers out there, I think. And I would be willing to bet a good amount on it. That there's enough people who would love players. Like, think of how many NHLers grew up around that Toronto greater area. A lot of guys would love to wear that Toronto Maple Leafs sweater. So is that worth paying William Nylander $7 million just so he sticks around and shuts his mouth, picks up an assist every 3 games? I don't know. Austin Matthews? Sure. He's probably the best player on your team. Mitch Marner? He's had some signs of brightness. Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, he's not your typical playoff producer style forward who's going to single-handedly take over games. I know you don't want the holdout. You don't want any of that. Players are going to be crybabies. But if that's what it comes down to, Dubas has to be better, and he has to move those players. Ship them out of town. I don't care. Get rid of them. If you think you are bigger than the team, you're not going to win with those guys. You just never are, never will. I'll tell you for free, there was no one on that St. Louis Blues team who thought they were bigger than the organization. You don't win with players like that. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are finding out firsthand 3 first-round losses. Yeah, you can blame it on Babcock as much as you want. He didn't use his top players. He was stuck in his old ways. He couldn't connect with the youth. But is that really going to be the difference maker. I've said it before, I would be scared if I had to play Austin Matthews, John Tavares, and Mitch Marner 24, 23 minutes a night. That's intimidating. Not in playoffs. Not as much in playoffs. You're going to have those guys matched up. And then what can your other guys do? Who's going to be your unsung hero in the playoffs? Unsung? I don't know if I messed that up. Kind of sounded weird when I said it. Is Freddie Anderson really your go-to guy? Is he going to be the goalie that gets you there? When's the last time the Leafs have developed a goalie from the ground up to be their guy? I don't know who they've got for a goalie coach. I don't know what they've got for a draft system. It sure wasn't Garrett Sparks. He ain't no NHL starter. They brought in Hutchinson. I think they brought in McElhaney too. I just don't... Like, now they've got that young Finnish kid or whatever, European. And I don't even know if he's a genuine backup in the NHL right now. So how Dubas has built this team, he has to deserve to be on the hot seat next. I get it. He's young. He hasn't been there forever. Sometimes your first job doesn't work out for you. That's just how it goes. I don't know if they're going to hold him accountable. I don't know what Shanahan's going to do there. But if the Leafs can't turn around, if they miss playoffs, maybe not this year, maybe it's next if they get off to a slow start, I think Kyle Dubas is next on the hot seat in Toronto. It's World Hockey Report coming to you live on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network, show brought to you by Seat Giant, of course. If you're looking to buy tickets, sporting event, concert, whatever it is, you got to go to SeatGiant.ca. Use the promo code 12OZSports. You're buying tickets in Canadian dollars. None of that conversion crap. And hey, just for being a listener, using the promo code 12OZSports, all caps, no spaces, you are going to save yourself money on your next ticket buying purchase at Seat Giant and 12-ounce Sports. I'm back. It's World Hockey Report with Cody. Coming to you live on the 12-ounce Sports Radio Network. Connect with us on Twitter, of course. I'm at Janner31. World Hockey Report is World Hockey RPT. Through the Twitter machine, we're on 12-ounce Sports Radio and TV. Find them at 120Z Sports. Wrapping this one up. A little bit of goalie talk. I know you might be sick of it, but hey. Jordan Binnington. Can we call this guy elite yet? Another shutout. Best gear in the league, best style. He's full of confidence. He's everything you want in an NHL goaltender. Can we finally call him elite? Everyone's like, oh, let's see what he does next year. Like, oh, Jordan Binnington, you won a cup. Cool, that's rookie luck, beginner's luck. I mean, is he going to be able to do it? Took a pretty friendly deal. What do you get, 4 or 5 mil a year? Pretty friendly in St. Louis. Obviously likes being there. Winning a cup doesn't hurt either. But can we call him elite yet? Here's his stats. 51 career games. He's 35, 8, and 5. 8 regulation losses. 51 games. I'm sorry, those numbers add up to 48. That's 48 starts. Pardon me. Been in 51 games. He's got a 2.01 goals against average. Just a hair over 2. Goals against average. Yes, he plays on a solid defensive team, and I get it. Goals against average isn't the best way to rate your goaltenders. You're still in the National Hockey League. He's got a .926 save percentage with 6 shutouts. Is that good? That's wild. A .926? How is that not elite numbers? And everyone's going to go, oh, well, I mean, let's see when he plays a full regular season. He played in hockey that's 2-3 times as tough as regular season. He played playoffs last year. He was playing against the best teams night in, night out. How is that not tougher than the regular season? The schedule's arguably more of a grind as well. So I think it's about time people start giving him some respect. I mean, Jordan Binnington is an elite NHL goaltender. He's a stud. The St. Louis Blues have a sick goaltender that they know is their number one. Is that not the best feeling out there? If you're a Blues fan, how stoked are you that there's a bunch of teams who would kill? Probably literally kill. You know Philadelphia fans would. Well, they're thinking Carter Hart's that guy. Didn't have to kill anyone. Boston's got Rask. There's a lot of teams who would love to have a guy like Jordan Binnington between the pipes. And he just fits so perfectly in there with that St. Louis defense. He stops shots from the perimeter. That's where they give up their shots. Sure, maybe in tight, he's got a little bit of work to do. This kid's got a .926 save percentage, 6 shutouts. He's the definition of elite in the NHL. It's time people start giving him some credit. I think that's necessary. I really, really do. Alrighty, taking a look. Some hockey news. Morgan Frost. That was funny. If you didn't see that TV graphic, I don't think we tweeted it out. I wish we did. It was like he's averaging the most like points per game of a Flyers player ever or something. A lot of people were freaking out. I thought it was funny. He had 2 goals, or most goals per game. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Could have butchered it already. Goals per game. He had 2 in his first NHL game. How are ya? Then he picks up an apple, so he's got 3 points in 2 games. Great player. He was a leader for Team Canada, their World Juniors. He was sick in the Ontario League, 20 years old. He's coming in. He's that little bit of a youth injection that Philly needs. They've got some young guys like Patrick who can buzz around, but their pace of play isn't always up there. So a guy like Frost, yeah, he might not be ready for a full-time shift in the big league. But he's not far off, and he got off to a great start. So you got to give him a shout-out there. Craig MacTavish. I haven't heard that name in a while. Well, he's going to be coaching Canada at the Spangler Cup. They were talking about Gretzky for a bit. I am fine that did not happen. Not too offended. But Craig MacTavish is going to coach them? Sure, he's seen some guys over there. He's got his little Oilers connection. Most of their decent players go over. KHL connection. Craig MacTavish, though, to coach Spangler Cup? Doesn't seem like too much fun. Alrighty, let's wrap this one up. Taking a look at lines, mybookie.ag is where the shows. This is where everyone goes. Best online sportsbook. Use the promo code 12OZ Sports, and they're going to match your deposit up to $1,000. Lines for tonight, I told you I'd give you some good ones. You got Pittsburgh and New Jersey. Pittsburgh's at home. They just lost against the Isles. They bounced back well. I get it. It's a back-to-back. It's not pretty. They're plus 155 on the puck line. Not bad right there. You also have Ottawa. They've been getting some decent goaltending at home. But the New York Rangers, they've kind of been buzzing around. Now, they are the underdog. But hey, so were the Leafs last night, and we hit that reverse puck line. Crushed it. Trying to pull it up here. The internet's giving me some problems, I guess. So the Rangers. Alternate line. 230. That'll work. Plus 230. Rangers on the puck line to win. They're the underdogs. You're going to have to go through the reverse, but you can do that. mybookie.ag, promo code 12OZ Sports. Hey, appreciate it. As always, everyone who's listening. It's World Hockey Report Live. Cody Jansen with